Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tech Down Over. I'm Harold Muliadi with RelateCasts, and you might be noticing something's up here. No Rick or Geoff today, so I've got a short show, but I hope it'll be interesting nonetheless. Let's get going. So you might have noticed I've got quite the abundance of microphones right here. Why is that? Well, I've got my DPA directional here that I'm talking to you with right now. I've also got two identical Shure SM58s. Why is that? Well, we just got another piece of audio equipment that I'm going to be comparing today, and you'll hear a little bit of a difference, hopefully. So, recently, we got a Microphones Cloudlifter. This is what it looks like. It's actually on the table right in front of me, but it's a little hard for me to lift up, so I'm just showing you a picture. So what this is it's essentially a small and simple preamp. It adds gain to your it adds gain to your mic, and it's suited for mics that are dynamic mics that are a little on the quiet side. What it does is you plug in your microphone to the Cloudlifter, and you plug the other end into your preamp, your audio interface, and so on. And it takes the phantom power. You do have to have phantom power on with this thing. It takes the phantom power from your preamp and it converts it to gain to your dynamic microphone. So, I've got two dynamic microphones right here. The same one, in fact, Shure SM58. And right now, on our audio box, our PreSonus audio box 1818 VSL, which, as a slight aside, the VSL stands for Virtual Studio Live, which has actually been discontinued, disappointingly. I believe they're still selling this thing too. It is still it's a good interface nonetheless. But anyways, if you do get an 1818 VSL, know that you won't necessarily be getting the VSL part. But anyways, I digress. Over on the audio box, I've got one of the Shures in number 2 over here, and I've got one in number 5. Now, the one on number 5, that one, that's connected to the Cloudlifter. The one in number 2 is not. And as you can see, I've got them both at the same level. So, we're going to do a little bit of a comparison. I'm going to turn off this mic here, the DPA. And this is the Shure SM58 with the Cloudlifter. And it's on set to the same level as the other one, which I will turn on and test in just a moment. And this is the same Shure SM58. Well, I'm not sure you can even hear me. It's quite a lot quieter, as I'm sure you've noticed. So I'm not sure if you were able to even, I'm back on the DPA, but I'm not sure if you were even able to make out what I was saying on the one without the Cloudlifter. But as you can probably tell, it makes quite a difference. It adds, Rick and I have found it was roughly, I think, 15 decibels of gain. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. That's just based on our initial test experience. And while it's not totally necessary for the SM58s per se, it actually helps quite a lot with the Shure SM7B, which Rick hasn't actually used it on a Tech Down Over episode yet, but if you've watched our latest eLearn Chat episode with Lucy Hodge, we'll link that below, or our latest Life Edge episode here on RelateCasts, where we brought on author John David Mann. Both great shows, by the way. You should check them out. We'll link them below. But in those, Rick is using the Shure SM7B with the Cloudlifter, and we had to have our Aphex preamp that he's got the mic hook up to. Without the Cloudlifter, it had to be turned almost all the way up on the input and output. It's the Shure SM7B. It's a good mic, but it's a little on the quiet side. So something like the Cloudlifter gives you just that extra bit of power that you need to be able to not have your input and output gain on something like your Aphex up so high. Actually, let me show you the Aphex. Yeah, that is the Aphex that I'm talking about right there. And if I can get it into focus, you'll actually be able to see it. But anyways, with the Cloudlifter, we have it, as you can probably see, it's not the greatest angle, but we have the input up about halfway, about 12 o'clock. And let us pan over to the output. We've got it at about, let me focus that for you, about 2 o'clock. So as you can tell, they're not all the way up, which is almost what we needed to do without the Cloudlifter. And let's go back over to the... So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the SM58 without the Cloudlifter, which is this one. I'm going to bring up the levels on our audio box so that it's roughly at the same levels as the one with the Cloudlifter. As what we've heard is that the Cloudlifter, because it's a very simple preamp, it should boost the signal without there being this extra preamp noise that you might get when you have to crank it up on your other preamps. So I am going to go back over to the audio box and do that. And let's see. I am going to switch over first to the SM58 without the Cloudlifter, and we'll see how that sounds. It might be a little noisier. Again, I'm not sure. I haven't really done this before, so we'll see what the difference really is. Now this is the SM58 without the Cloudlifter. I'm actually still a bit on the quiet side, but so I think I'm going to crank this up a little bit more. Testing. Hello, everyone. Let's see. So I think we're closer to the same level as on the SM58 with the Cloudlifter, but I think I'm still a little low. Well, I'm not sure if you're hearing noise or any sort of preamp buzz or anything like that on here, but now I'm going to switch over to the other one. And I just realized that I've mixed up the SM58s. I was talking to the wrong one. That's why I was a bit quiet. So this is the SM58, once again, without the Cloudlifter. This is the SM58 with the Cloudlifter. And the gain, I think, is still a little bit higher. I'm probably still coming in a little bit louder. And I'm not sure if it's cleaner. I can't quite hear on my headphones here. But I guess you'll be the judge. You're listening in. So, I'm not sure which of these will come out cleaner. I'm assuming the one with the Cloudlifter should come out quite a bit cleaner, just based on what we've heard, but we could be surprised. And there's not going to be a whole lot of noise coming in anyway, I believe. I mean, our studio is, well, hopefully the soundproofing in our studio should eliminate room noise, which, by the way, the Cloudlifter will not take out. But also, I don't believe we have a whole lot of preamp noise to begin with, especially on something like the SM58 that I don't think it needs a huge amount of gain, so hopefully it's not super noisy to begin with. But also, hopefully the Cloudlifter comes out with an even cleaner signal. All right, well, hopefully this was an interesting comparison. I've probably missed out on obvious things that I could have done here to more effectively compare, the Cloudlifter, the mic with the Cloudlifter rather, with the one without the Cloudlifter. And most likely on future shows we will be doing more extensive tests, or more extensive extensive tests with the Cloudlifter using other microphones. But this is just a little sneak preview of the Cloudlifter, and we'll be using it, and hopefully it's going to give us a good sound. So, well then, like I said, short show, so we'll see you next time, and thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Tech Down Over. Bye, everyone.